Good afternoon. Welcome to our program to address the incoming or the upcoming snow emergency. This afternoon you will hear from Director of Public Safety Anthony Ambrose, Director of Neighborhood and Recreational Services Patrick Council, Dr. Hannah Hamdi, Director of Health and Community Wellness, as well as the Mayor. We'd also like to ask the members of the City Council to join us up here as well. First, you will hear from Director of Public Safety, Mr. Anthony Ambrose.
Good afternoon. Thank you. Unfortunately, I wish we could say that it's all a joke and it's not going to snow, but it doesn't look that way. We're preparing for our latest weather forecast is anywhere from 7 to 12 inches. Should be hitting our city by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Our first port of business under the new developed Department of Public Safety that the Mayor has implemented, police, fire, and OEM will be all under one roof at our Emergency Operations Center at 480 Clinton Avenue in the South Ward of the city. We will have adequate police officers and firemen on duty for weather-related incidents. We ask that the public report any type of incidents or help that you may need. We'll have adequate people available. We'll be working in conjunction with Director Council of Neighborhood Services. We'll have communications with his Emergency Operations Center where they're tracking the snow plowing and snow removal and salting. We will also have shelter sites available through the Department of Health at Shabazz, if need be, and Barringer High School. It will be manned by police officers. We ask that if you can park your cars, and it's tough, if you have a driveway, park in your driveway. If you have a neighbor's driveway, park in a neighbor's driveway. If you have someone that you could park at either end of your block in a gas station if you can or whatever, but it will help us to clean the streets. The other thing is if you get plowed in, don't throw the snow in the street because that's a problem. You throw this, it's counterproductive for us, for the city, for the emergency people to get around. In our Emergency Operations Center, we're going to have EMS personnel. We're going to have utility personnel so we can expedite complaints, and we'll be ready. We'll be opening up that room at 4 a.m. tomorrow morning, Saturday morning, and it'll be open until needed. We'll also be prepared for Monday morning for rush hour and for people when they're ready to go to work and school with their children. With that, I'd like to turn it over to the Mayor.
Good afternoon. Pat Council, Director of Neighborhood Services. As we know, the latest update that we've received is we're looking to get anywhere from 7 to 14 inches of snow, and so we have aggressively been planning to move on it. We've begun now salting and treating the hills, bridges, emergency routes, and major arteries throughout the city so that we can be prepared when the snow reaches 2 to 3 inches on the ground to begin to start pushing and plowing snow. We are also working with our partners, county partners, who are representative here today that will be assisting and helping us along the county roads and thoroughfares to dispatch their crews in areas to be able to help and assist. We have our internal operations that will be working coincide with our public safety director to ensure the safety of the residents. And so some of the things that you have heard from our public safety director, we continue to issue the hue and cry, if at all possible, to stay off the streets, try to stay out of the main corridor areas that will allow us to continue to clean and maintain these areas that you may have safe passage when it is time to move about. So we're asking all residents to park in their driveways, avoid parking on main streets. And also, if you want to stay involved and be alert of what is happening, we have our city website that we want you to utilize. You can go to the City of Newark website to the snow response tracker, www.ci.newark.nj.us, and you could be able to see where the trucks are plowing and how they are moving throughout the city. So again, we ask that you do that. There are some areas that we will look to ask that there will be no parking on as we move later on tonight. We're looking for the following streets: Bergen Street between Nye Avenue and Chancellor Avenue, Elizabeth Avenue between Renner Avenue and Meeker, Ferry Street between Edison Plaza East and Niagara Street, Lafayette Street between New Jersey Railroad Avenue to Wilson Avenue, Wilson Avenue between Merchant Street and Rome Street, and Mount Prospect between Elwood Ave and Tiffany Boulevard. These are important thoroughfares and passageways that we are asking that you keep clear at all times as we can move about and do the necessary work that is needed to be done. And so I am at this time is going to pass it over to the mayor of the city of Newark, Mayor Raz J. Baraka.
Good afternoon. Dr. Hamdi, Director of the Department of Health. The Health Department is taking precautions to safeguard the health and the well-being of transient populations. Tonight, we are declaring a warming station, not a code blue, and we're asking all our collaborators to help us bring in all the transit population to JFK Recreation Center. The center will be open from 8 p.m. this evening until 8 a.m. on Sunday morning. We'll be working closely with the county to make sure that we're following the forecast. We encourage all the residents to stay indoor and to make sure that you dress warmly and to avoid going outside unless it's an emergency. Thank you.
So I just want to thank everyone for coming out today, the council with us here today, Mr. Brown from the county, and I see some other, the Deputy Chief of Staff, the county executive here as well, because this is a joint effort, in terms of the county and the city of Newark. County roads are very heavy in our city, and we are working with them to make sure that our streets are clear and that people can be able to move back and forth without delay, particularly on Monday when it's time to return back to work. And I think it's an opportunity for us to show off our new public safety organization in the city as well, to make sure that we use this to organize ourselves in such a way that we know that this system is now working, that everybody is functioning under one kind of authority, and that there's some kind of correspondence between all of the agencies in the city together under the public safety direction. And I think we're going to have a great opportunity to show what it is that we can do with this snowstorm. I'm just praying that it doesn't come, but the fact that it's here, we will be prepared, and I want Newarkers to know that we are prepared to go forward and make sure that your community is safe and that you're able to move about the city when it's time to go to work on Monday, especially if you're a city employee. You're supposed to be to work on Monday. But that being said, I think the important things was already said that I want to reiterate is to make sure that we are able to park off of the main corridors, not parking in the streets, especially if you're on a narrow street, because you're going to call and complain that the plow didn't come down your block. But if there's double-sided parking on both streets and it's a narrow block, the plow will not come down your block. You have to make sure you park in a driveway, in a gas station, in a school parking lot. All of those places that will enable the plow to get down your block and not to throw snow into the street. It makes it difficult for us to plow and for emergency vehicles to move through the city at the same time. We have not issued a state of emergency yet, so we have not told people to stay off the roads, but we think that it's prudent that you do so. And if there is a state of emergency, you will hear it, and we will be asking that people do not be on the roads at a specific hour. So thank you. Any questions?
Questions?
No.
How many people are you expecting at that warming station? Is there any estimate of how many might come?
We have been averaging about 80 to 90 per night over the last 3 warming stations, but we anticipate over the 3 nights will by 300 over the 3 days. So tonight, Saturday, into Sunday.
You actually go get the people too, so.
So part of our success has been that we do the actual outreach. We partner with many city residents, and so we go to Penn Station or other locations where we know the homeless has been sort of scattering. And once the word gets out that the health department has a warming station, they've been very successful in coming in.
Well, let's talk about outreach to the community. If there are people in need.
Excuse me, who are you? I'm sorry.
Kyle Mazza from UNF News. If there are people that can't come, what is the outreach going to be if someone is in need to go to a warming station and they can't do it on their own? How can all the officials?
In the same manner that we've been picking up people, we have city operating vehicles where we go out and do the outreach, but we're also using My Newark app. So we're notified by the citizens that there's someone ready to go. We can't force everyone to come to a shelter, unfortunately, but those who are willing, we're able to go and pick them up.